everyone, welcome to Ellis Mowers. I appreciate y'all watching as always. So I was looking around to figure out which push mower I wanted to do next, because I have one other person that may be interested and I wanted to get one ready just in case that person wanted it before I hit a riding mower or two. We're going to work on this Weed Eater VIP 22-inch bicycle wheel push mower here. It is in pretty good shape, especially considering how old it is. And it looks like it needs a few things. It doesn't look like it needs anything crazy. I'll show you what it needs, obviously, right off the top here, and then we're going to add the parts that it needs that at least I know of. These bicycle wheel push mowers actually are in pretty good demand. I'm hoping to get about $80 for this one, especially with it being in the condition that it is in. Rolls super well. I'm going to have to do a little bit of work to it, so let's go ahead and get started on it. So let me give you a walk around on this rainy day. Got a little bit of let up in the rain here. I have time to show you all this. Weed Eater VIP. So this is an older one. I have not checked the year, so let's guess the year on it. Maybe, gosh, if I were to guess, I'll let y'all get y'all's guesses in here in a second. Alright, now that you got your guesses in, I'm going to say this is about a 2001. 2001. That's what I'm going with. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit older than that. Let's figure it out. 6 horsepower Diamond, Briggs and Stratton, and it's missing the carburetor. No big deal. I got all that. I've got base plate, air filter cover. So let's see if we can find the date code on the motor or engine here. Excuse me. I'm a little bit off actually this time. This is a 960522 is when this mower was made. 1996. We'll confirm it by the sticker in the back. 053196 for this Poland Weed Eater. It's made by AYP Craftsman. Should have known because of the bicycle wheels. They didn't really make it into the 2000s very much. I can see where there's been a little bit of oil burn on the muffler. It is missing an exhaust bolt, so it might be a little on the loud side. Oh wow, it does. The exhaust is loose, so that's another thing we're gonna have to work with. Hopefully they didn't break the bolts off in it. Hopefully it's just been run a little bit too fast or something. Hopefully the crankshaft's not bent. It's got the shorter shaft on it, so hopefully it's not. We'll find out. But here is what is happening to it. Let me get the tripod out. And it's going to be pretty obvious what's wrong with it as soon as I do this. It's going to be rather dramatic also, so I'll back up and kind of give me the pull in action and all that with you for it. So that's all I'm doing there because I do not want to mess myself up. Got a flywheel key issue. There's a pull rope's ripping back in my hand, and it's actually like rattled the blade loose on it on the bottom down there. So that's not a good thing. So before I go into it, I want to make sure, well, it's got so much recoil on it. Like I said, it's rattled the blade loose. It's got so much kickback to it, and you can see the smoke coming out of the darn muffler area right there. So I didn't see that the muffler was loose. Let me see how bad that is, and hopefully the mountain bolts aren't stripped out. Might have to get a little creative with the muffler if that's the case. And then we'll go about the process of replacing the flywheel key. We'll do that. Yeah, we'll check the muffler first. We'll replace the flywheel key next, and then we'll go ahead and finish doing the maintenance on this thing. Alright guys, I'm going to try and show you start to finish this flywheel key replacement. Bear with me. So I'm just taking these tabs off for the recoil. The rope looks to be pretty good. It's definitely salvageable. We're going to take off the 3 bolts for the gas tank. There we go. Make life go a little bit quicker here. Those are 5/16 shoulder bolt. So they got a little shoulder on them. Okay. There is a 3/8 on the side over here. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Okay. Gas tank should just come on off now. I'm going to pull the rope back up here. Take it off its holder, just like that. Gas tank should come right off. Let's do the pressure test here on the gas tank. Alright, it is tight. That's good. I just capped this, covered this, and blew into it. I didn't feel any air, so that's good for the gas tank. Now I got a bunch of 3/8 to take off here for the recoil starter. And also don't lose this little grommet here, spacer for the gas tank for where that 3/8 came off. 1, 2, and then 2 in the front. Hopefully y'all can see that. Now, I need to replace the battery on that impact anyways. Put the other one on charger. 1 and 2. There we go. That should take our recoil off. Let's see, the oil dipstick's probably gonna come with it. There we go. Okay. Oil is very clean. That's a good sign. So now, we're out of room here. Let me grab my impact and we'll take this, wow. It's going to be a little rough because this bolt, man, I was hoping this was not the case. This bolt right here is just nuts, a little rusted, so I might take a wire wheel to it real quick. Get some of that mess off of there. And then we'll take that 5/16 nut off and try and get this flywheel off. Sometimes these are a little bit difficult to try not to mess the threads up with hitting them. And they don't really have any provisions for pulling them very well, but we'll see what we can do here. Alright y'all, so I've cleaned up the threads here to get this nut off with that wire brush. So we're going to take this off. I'll show you the flywheel key. I'm sure it's pretty bad. Okay. I mean, it's sheared, but I thought it was going to be much more off than it is. So it's off by about, so right here, and it's off by about that much. I wonder if the blade decided it wanted to seize up or something, or not seize up, but I wonder if it hit something. I don't know. But the exhaust was a little loose. I was able to tighten that bolt. That bolt right there is stripped. So, but it's pretty secure. So now what I'm going to do is take some PB Blaster, JB Weld, not JB Weld, oh my gosh, lubricant, whatever I can find. See, these holes are not tapped, which I don't know why Briggs just wouldn't tap the holes and make life a lot easier for us here. But they didn't, so my life's a lot harder because of that. I'm going to take, it's not a lot harder, but I'm going to take this spring off right here. It's Recoil Spring. Alright, let's see if I can find an area to grab it. Yeah, let me get a smaller one. See if I can get this one out. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do, that loosens your brake up right here. It allows me to pop off that flywheel a little bit easier. This is the part I hate because it never goes very well. I either rip the threads, screw the threads up, or something. So I'm going to grab some WD-40 and I'm just going to hit that, and I'm going to grab like a little punch. I'm just going to hit down on the shaft to see if I can get it to pop off for us. Alright, this ended up being a success, which is good. Oh, I just lost my key. There it is. Okay, so I put this flywheel nut absolutely flush to the top of the crankshaft, right? That way the threads and everything are aligned and I'm not stripping threads and stuff like that. I mean, take a moment to make sure that you get it perfect. And I took a pry bar and a hammer, heavy hammer, got it off. So, you'll see it pop. And when it popped, now we're gonna take it off. If we can get it away from there we go, the coil. So, I took that on that side, this on this side, and that's a sheared flywheel key. All right, so now what I like to do generally is put the flywheel back on first, line it up with the shaft there, and then just drop the key in, just like so. Get a little screwdriver or something, or just this right here will tap it in for me. Perfect. Now we got to be careful with this. Excuse me. Put the cut back on. Do not impact this back on until you get a bunch of threads down in there, because you don't want, I made this mistake once. You do not want to strip these threads. If there's anything that you learn from this video, is do not strip the crankshaft threads. Because if you do, you're pretty screwed. I'm just very gently, very easily, we're going to make sure that we get these threads in. Alright, so very gently, very gently. Remember, these threads had a bunch of rust and stuff on them too, so that doesn't help matters. Alright, we got past that, so that should be a lot easier for us now. Get tighter. Alright, now we'll impact it the rest of the way, because that's a little bit easier to do. Alright, you get tools all over the place when you do this. Very carefully, y'all. Very carefully. We don't need any more than that. And that's good to go. Threads are still good on that thing, so that's fantastic. Y'all saw me take all this off. I'll go ahead and put it all back on to save time. And we'll go ahead and put on a carburetor. I'll source all that mess. I've got one from, oddly enough, an engine that I screwed the crankshaft threads up on. So I'll take all that mess off of that engine, and then we'll have a good mower. Should be good after tighten the blade up. I am going to change out this handle for a different one that's straight because I don't have the correct handle for this. The starter handle. So I'm going to change out this for a straight one. I got tons of those. And then we should be complete after we give it a wash and a blade sharpen. Alright, y'all, so we're going to put everything on here. I've got it all here for us. Pretty much taking absolutely everything off of that old engine that I screwed up the crankshaft threads on. So, thank you, me, for screwing things up so that I can save this one. Carb, put the linkage on. Start your screws. And this side as well. Alright, got a few threads. We can run them in with the impact. Yeah, make sure your seal is good, your little O-ring. And this one was good from everything that I could tell. Now, got the carb on. What I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to change the fuel line out, so give me just a second and we'll finish this up. Well, we're at this point now. I did get the fuel line and stuff on it. And I'm going to put a new primer bulb in here, so relatively easy to do. Just find a secure area. Press the tab in with your screwdriver. Wrong way. Press the tab in with your screwdriver. Push it up on one side. This one's a pretty old primer bulb. Still in decent shape. It's just lost its rubberness. If that's even a word. At the time I didn't have any primer bulbs, but you can see when you push it in, it doesn't really have any of the recoil aspect that it needs to. So we're going to put this one in. Check to make sure the screen's good first. This one doesn't even have a screen on it, so some of them don't, depending on where I got them from. Again, just push it in easily. I'm going to do it on the other side too. There we go. You hear the click. That gives you what you need. Let's see if I can make it in the trash here. Buckets. Alright. Oh, I need to grab the little tube here. Alright. Grabbing this. Putting that on. Putting this on. I've already got it double gasketed from the previous application. So we'll just pop these screws in. I would not recommend using an impact on these, because that's going to probably mess you up if you do. very easy to get these cross-threaded, so do your best not to. There we go, perfect. This was a new carburetor. I had done the works to that other engine. Tried to mend it by, oh, we're getting great primer action there. I tried to mend it by welding the nut on, and it worked for I think about three mows, and then I hooked the guy up with a different engine on the mower deck, just because I'm like, this was my work. I stand by my stuff, and that philosophy generally works here where I'm from. And he gave me a weed eater as payment for fixing the mower. So it all ends up in a good deal. I'm just putting this last screw in, and we'll finish up this here once I get this last screw in. I'll screw these in, make sure they're not cross-threaded, and then we will see if we can get this thing to run. Alright guys, I ended up getting it ready. A couple of mundane things I did. It's just I put this different handle on here with this type of bar. I actually took it off of that rusted out mower there. Really rusted out mower. Really easy. Borderline thinking about putting a pull rope on it. We'll see how this one ends up being. If it's not frayed on the far inside, I might just let it ride. Tighten the blade up and put the whole carb assembly and all that on with the air filter that I took off of the other one. Wheels look good. Flywheel key looks good. So oil looks amazing. It looks like it just got changed. So let's see. We'll give it about 4 or 5 primes, and we'll see if we can get this thing to take off. One other thing I also did is I turned it into a fixed throttle setup, which all I had to do was bend that down right there. Took the throttle cable out of it, just because it's not really an expectation or anything anymore. So let me see if this thing runs for us. These things are very particular about those carburetors. It's got a bunch of smoke coming out just because it hasn't run in a while. Running good though. Alright, we'll let it burn off the smoke. Let it run for a few minutes. The exhaust really isn't that loud, all things considered. Let it run for a little bit, we'll come back. Alright, so here is the final product of this mower. It is already sold. I believe this is number 8 in that lot of 35 that you see right over there. Making a great dent in it. Dent in the lot, getting these things out quickly. This one, like I said, already sold. Agreed on the price of $75, and to a guy that bought the Troy built that I did the front end swap on. So let me start it for you. Let me show you it runs, and then we'll call it a day. And all the smoke is gone and everything too. Thing runs beautifully, guys. Very, very excited and happy for this one. So, this one's done. All we had to do was change out a few things on it, which is good. Replace the flywheel key blade, just screw the blade back on all the way. Took the whole carburetor and air filter assembly off of a bad engine, put it on this one, and gave it a little bit of cleaning, a little bit of gas, and it's in good shape, ready to roll. So people love these bicycle wheels. This thing is super easy to push, and I know a lot of people look for that stuff whenever they are buying one of these. So I appreciate y'all watching as always. We got another one ready. It's already sold. I just got to take it to the guy on my way home from work one day, and we'll be good. So thank you again for watching, and I will catch y'all on the next video. See you then.